Okay, cool. Hi,
Hi.
What
How's
up?
it going?
Anna Jones. George and Anna Jones, audience, meet this dynamic duo. I don't know how to even introduce you. How long have I known you guys?
So, oh my God.
Over 10 years now, right?
Yeah,
Right?
has to be for sure.
Yeah, at
You
least.
are, what's that?
At
At
least, right? Yeah.
All of our dance mama. She will go down in history forever.
Forever and ever.
So you guys meet George and Anna Jones, who are co-owners of Elektro Academy,
Elektro Dance Academy, yeah.
Elektro Dance Academy in Arizona, and they just got a new space, which they're sitting in right now. They actually expanded and are continuing to expand even despite the setbacks of this 2020 year. So you guys, will you introduce yourselves, like give our audience like truly who you are? You're a mixture. They're a good mixed bag of lots of talent and brilliance. But so George, why don't we start with you?
Yeah. My name is George Jones. This is my wife, Anna Jones. We're dancers, performers here in the community of Arizona, Gilbert, Arizona, Mesa, Arizona, just the greater Phoenix area. Been doing this for over 10 years, dancing professionally, commuting back and forth to California and across the country, even internationally. We decided to start this business with some of our other friends that I was on the TV show with, America's Best Dance Crew. And we built this studio, we decided to start the business in 2016. And then from there, we just, started pouring out and sharing what knowledge we have and what talent we had. And eventually it grew into something that's, super beautiful. And I'm super grateful to have my wife along with that journey too. She shares the same love and passion for this place that we all do, which is like super important because I just have no idea how I would do this without her. So
I know. And then along with that, we both dance for our contemporary teams and our hip hop teams. And then we also direct here and we choreograph here, we teach here. George and I are also on the marketing team. We direct the marketing as far as like things that are being done. And then
just mentors, coaches,
do a bunch of stuff. I do a lot of content stuff, like photography and video editing for the studio as well. And then on my own time as well. So a little side plug. But other than that, our whole life is literally just here. So Elektro is us. That's what we do. We do with our friends, some of our most favorite people. So we're
right.
That's that.
Yeah. I think let's make sure that they understand. So Elektrolytes, tell us about who they are/were, because I know it's evolved.
Yes.
Best Dance Crew. Can you give us a little bit about that? Because that was a big deal.
So we started Elektrolytes Dance Crew in 2009, and that was just a group of us boys like dancing in high school and
8 boys.
Right?
It was only 4 at the time.
There was 4 of us for a long time, and then and it grew to 8 more guys, and we're all still really great friends. And then over the years, we started a mega crew.
Which is like a lot of people in one crew, 30 to 40 people.
Right. We started a mega crew because of Hip Hop International, they started the mega crew division for competition. So we started adding more people. We added 20 to 30 people and eventually turned it into 40. And then eventually after that, we decided to go to the studio route. So now we're adding rec classes, we're adding extra hip hop classes, we're adding other hip hop teams. And then Anna and I, we have been dancing, been training. She's been training technical dance her whole life. For me, I've been, oh my God, there's a fly in here.
I know, it's one little gnat that keeps flying around. So if we keep doing this, my bad. Keep going.
I've been training technically for over 10 years. So we decided to start the contemporary program.
Because that was the next step. So we were all talking about it with some of the other owners, and so we just kind of took it and ran with it.
For
a long time, it was just hip hop, but now we're full on studio. We offer ballroom, we offer ballet, jazz tech, tumbling, hip hop.
Industry classes, choreo classes, foundation classes.
And we just built like such a network with the people that we met in the industry. So we
from when the boys are on the TV show,
we have people from the industry come out and teach and or just give knowledge. And yeah, that's just the wave we've been riding. So we're trying to continue to ride it.
So how did you place in ABCD?
American
ABDC.
Yeah, ABDC. Yeah.
Season 7, they.
Hey, we won. Yeah.
I thought so.
Started it all.
Right. Yeah, we
They
won.
won season 7.
Yeah, season 7 was awesome. Yeah, we won, and it just really like launched our career. And we didn't really even like do like super much with it too. Like we all.
It was really just the 8 boys that just traveled and got gigs around.
Yeah.
The world, really.
Right.
They went to several different countries.
Yeah, but we decided to stay in Arizona. Yeah, and just like kind of like, because nobody wanted to leave. Like this is our home. You know what I mean? So yeah, we just made the best of it here. And then we went back and did season 8, the season of the champions, and that's the one that I met B-Tech from, and from Kinjaz. Yeah. So, but we didn't last that long on that season. But it was
still did great. But there's so much talent on that year.
but yeah, that's our TV, right?
That's rad, you guys. And also, I am an alum of ASU, so I've lived in Phoenix, and I think it's important, honestly, for the world. Like, I just want to like shout out to Phoenix because it's actually a like bubbling dance environment. Like there's so much talent, and not just in the students, but really in the educators in Phoenix.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think at least half of the dancers that go to LA are from Phoenix.
Yeah, from California.
Half
like
of the
it's
talent,
a lot of people leave to go to other places.
Yeah.
So we are like, why can't we be one of those?
And how many students? You guys have a huge studio now.
We have like
close to what, 150 maybe?
I want to say like our last count, and this was before we got a few more these past couple of weeks. I want to say it was like around 120.
Okay.
So it's probably now like around 130-ish. And that's like rec classes, our adults, our teens, like all of like between everybody that we have registered in our system. So
I just feel like I need to make sure, audience, that you know, like George is amazing on the stage, hip hop, this and that. Anna's also like a fierce contemporary mastress. Like she will ninja kick you out of this room.
Oh God.
Just saying. And yeah, she can fly. I'm just saying. So I just want to make sure that the world knows Anna is very fierce. Great choreography and also photography. Anyways.
Yeah.
So that leads me, you guys, I want to hear about how the reason I wanted to interview you today is also because you're working with a huge team, but each other, obviously being married and doing this and figuring out what works for you as a culture, as a, relational culture is so important. Yeah. So what are some of the cultures or like the core values that you guys live from over at the Elektro Academy that has helped you, get through this year?
Yeah.
Well, we have a chant that we always say before competitions or
at the end of practices. Yeah.
When we break out in rehearsals, we say one mind, one soul, one family. And it's not just the phrase, like just to say it, one mind, one soul, one family. Like we actually mean it when we say it, you know what I mean? And with that phrase, I think what we're really conveying is honesty, consistency, and just like an overall general caring for others and what they want, you know what I mean? And aligning up what our whys are. Yeah. So I really feel like in order to be successful, you have to be honest. And the tough thing about a business, especially a business with people that like friends, is you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or you don't want to speak up because you don't want things to be awkward or whatever. But I think the biggest thing that has helped us in the longevity of our career and then also just like growing is being honest when we disagree with something, right?
And talking it through and figuring out a solution for it.
And not just when you disagree, but also being honest when you're checking your own self, like checking your own ego. Do you know what I mean? Like being honest with yourself, like, hey, is that really right? Like, you know what I mean? Like even in your own opinions, Yeah,
just because like our biggest thing here is it's a true and honest family owned business because all of us owners, are married, getting married. We have one set of the owners. They're getting married next year. But our other 2 friends, they have kids and stuff like that. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like our true honest approach to everything is like, that we are family first and that we figure everything out together as a family, as a unit. And it's not about the individual that is going about doing their own thing. Like we have our lanes that we obviously are like, that's our strong suits, but together as a whole, we definitely work together as one unit, making decisions together and working out things if you know, things get a little bit hairy or whatever. But the biggest thing is that it's one team.
And that's the culture that I think a lot of studios miss too, is like, we'll come here, you know, Anna and I get here as early as sometimes like, you know, 9 a.m. or earlier. And people are already outside the door, like our staff, our teachers, they're here hanging out.
Our other directors are here, like like we're all like literally here first thing in the morning. We leave
working
at like super late at night. So
working, hanging out, all this, and it's just like we've cultivated this this environment where people just come here, right? And they don't even necessarily have to be doing here. They just want to be around the energy. But then that energy ends up turning into, hey, can you do this or whatever? And they're like, oh, absolutely. And then they do it and they're like, hey, do you want to be on staff? Oh, absolutely. So
or they jump in just to kind of help
fill the gaps.
Fill the gaps if they see a gap. Like,
you
know, there's a lot of that going on. It's like super, super exciting. Like it really is like when we come here, it's like hanging out with your best friends because it doesn't seem like work when we're here. And I think that's the best thing that we've been able to cultivate is the culture of just true family and team and just being here with each other and enjoying each other's presence. And, you know, I'm literally laughing 90% of my day. So, which is good. And then the other 10% is, I'm just kidding. No, but it's me yelling, get over to that. No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding on that. But.
Can you tell me really fast so our audience knows your performing companies or competing companies as well? Are they competing?
Yeah, so we have a mixture of competing and performing. So on our contemporary side, our contemporary branch, we use the name Lux. And so for our adults, it's Lux Contemporary. And then we have our pre-pro like team group, which is Lux Pre-Pro. And then we have Lux Varsity, Lux Juniors, and Lux Minis. And so that's like all age divisions of anybody. And then we have another team of our advanced team called LED. And then we have the hip hop side, which is Elektrolytes, Electro Crew, Electro Kids, Unbounded, Limitless, and Unlimited. And so those are like all of like our teams. On
Electro Kids too, and Little Shocks.
And Little Shock, I know we have like little ones. Like we have Sassy Shocks.
Oh, Sassy Shocks.
So that's like it's like all this like new like there's like little baby branches. But the ones that we named are like the ones that are like super established with like each side and between all of them. Obviously, when it comes to the contemporary side, there's like not a lot of competitions for us to do. So we do more showcases or a lot of video projects, or like we compete at like WODs and stuff like that, like World of Dances, like stage performances, and then the electro side and like our hip hop side, they're definitely in any and every competition. Our teen contemporary kids though, we send those kids out to studio comps and then other like really big competitions as well too. So it's like a mixture of both performing and showcasing.
We audition for a lot of TV shows too as well. We've had several of our companies from this studio on the World of Dance TV show.
Oh, and we also, I mean, this is not one that like you can necessarily be a part of, but we also have the Rise Dance crew, and they were just on this last season of World of Dance, the Jennifer Lopez show. So we also have that a part of our team as well. And we have, I mean, if we really want to talk about like family branches, we have Electrobots and Outlaws and all this other stuff. But those are like more like specific group people. But yeah, like George was saying, is like we auditioned for shows and had several companies on several seasons of the World of Dance, the Jennifer NBC one. NBC World.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot.
Really exciting. Yeah, it's really cool.
That could only happen if you have 4 owners and their wives, like making
and their wives. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
And their baby mamas. For
real, though.
No, it's literally you could not function without the others. Like it's not like just a one person. It's literally, oh my God, we need everybody to make this whole ship go. So. And
that's incredible that the thing that you said at the very beginning was like honesty inside a family, which means there's safety. You've created some kind of safety in your culture that says like your honesty matters to me above my ego, and our connection matters more than me being right. Like us being together, one soul, one
mind, one soul, one family.
And learning. I want to be in the fam. So incredible. So I want to hear about like this year, okay? Because I've seen a lot coming out from the Elektro Academy, and it doesn't look like you had to miss too many beats this year, quite frankly. But I know that you had to work around a ton. So can you give us some of the gritty details, but also some of like the epic highlights about how you managed to move through 2020?
Yeah.
It sounds like you've been growing despite
Yes.
the pandemic.
It has definitely been such a journey. I mean, when everything first started happening, a lot of it, obviously, we were all uncertain about what was happening. But what's cool about our team is that we were able to like move quickly and efficiently. So it wasn't like a long drawn out process. Like everything like officially closed down on a Sunday, and we were able to get all of our classes switched over to Zoom and all of our teachers ready to be on Zoom like that Monday. And so it was cool to see. Yeah. And so it was cool to see kind of like that crazy switch of everything. But then, you know, Zoom obviously was a fun experience for everybody, and it was constantly like us evolving and adapting like what we were doing, and realizing that our kids were on the internet for school for the first half of the day, and then they were still stuck to the screen for the second half of the day. So we kind of evolved and changed what we were doing to kind of help our kids out with that. And then, you know, then we got the green light to be able to start doing some stuff in person. And then we started like, you know, obviously had to have some parameters with like masks and temp checks and smaller numbers at the door and taping off like squares so people couldn't come in, and or like invade each other's bubbles and stuff like that. So and then what else?
I think the biggest thing was adaptation, you know, like just adapting without and actually, and you, I got this from Angela Rosencrantz, who was amazing, right? Who's all three of us, right? All three of us, right? Who grew up at Scottsdale Community College, taking dance. And she said something that was super profound. Was like learning to adapt to like mourn what was and adapt to the now. And I think a lot of the people who, you know, got stuck.
That was Goose.
That's one of
our awesome staff here.
Yeah,
so
he's awesome.
Showing off our new place too.
But one of the things, so I think that like a lot of times like people got stuck in the mourning, right, of like
the
what
things
was,
that we couldn't do,
and that was blinding them from adapting to what was next. Because like Zoom was, you know, it's tough to teach on Zoom. Yeah. Especially as a dancer and as an artist, right? Yeah. You feel the energy in the room.
You feed off of the people that are there, and having to try to feel it through a screen is seriously. Oh, it was such a challenge.
Yeah. So I think that like that was just like the biggest thing is like, you know, for us, for me especially, is like I grew up you know, playing sports, and so did the boys too. So, and even Anna, she grew up in like, you know, in a lot of like grew up in a lot of adversity, and I think that's like something for me that I welcome in my life too, is like challenges, right? Because I do believe that they help you grow. But adversity, I think, is like, you know, or living through and being willing to go through adversity is what helps like you keep moving, especially as a business, and especially in a time like this where things are so tough. Do you know what I mean?
And we went into this year definitely like early January, before everything like really started hitting the fan. Like we went into this year like all of us owners are like, this is gonna be our year, it's gonna be great. We had all of these plans for everybody, and then we had to shut it down, and it made us sit back, reflect, and be like, okay, what now? And to be honest, I honestly am like super grateful for the craziness that we had to deal with during the pandemic, because it has now brought us and made us to what we are now. Especially like all of us owners got to like kind of recalibrate it. It helped us reflect on some of the things that we could improve on. It helped us be able to reflect on the things that we were doing for our studio and our kids and our adults, to see like, okay, well, what can we give them that's something better? Like, how can we continue to push them when they don't have the dance studio? And so it was like constant, like it's George saying, like it was literally just constant, like adapting and readapting. It's like, okay, that wasn't working, let's do this week. Okay, we are focusing on this and trying to do choreo for a production that we were hoping to do in June, because you know the pandemic was supposed to last that long, and then all of a sudden everything was lasting longer. So we're like, okay, now that that's not working, what can we do? Let's focus on training, let's get them strong, so then when things open, like it was a constant just like cycle of craziness. And the moment that we got the green light from the mayor of Mesa, because our studio is classified under like rec.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it was. I just know that we're able to open up.
Yeah.
And we're doing it safely, following all the CDC guidelines and stuff like that. So that's what we're just going to continue to do.
Yeah, so the moment we were able to do that, we obviously limited the numbers and everything as far as like who could come in, and it was just like a breath of fresh air for like all of our kids to like finally like, even they couldn't like touch each other. It was like still like, oh my God, I'm just so excited that I can feel you.
Yes,
and then obviously as time goes on, like we were able to do more and more. And so it's just been like amazing to see the growth, even though it was such like a crazy stunt. But it's honestly like even seeing our kids, like they're night and day different people from the beginning till now as well. So it's, I think, just like the constant adapting to like this craziness and having to like kind of go with whatever's being thrown at us of like, you can, and now you can, and well, now this has to happen, and now you have to go over there and do that. It's like, that's kind of kept us on our toes and kept us just pushing and reinventing like what we're doing to keep everybody stimulated and excited about things that are happening, even though everything is so uncertain right now. So.
Right, totally. I feel like it's almost it's a humbling checkpoint in our generation.
Yeah.
Like a lot of just the normalcy and the convenience of the life that we've had has to be a little bit checked, and the entitlement even maybe that we didn't realize we maybe had. It's like convenience, constant convenience. Like we just haven't gone through this yet as a generation.
Oh.
So like, I love hearing that you're like, we've actually seen an improvement in, it sounds like, in the character or the attitudes of our students. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. It really allowed us, all of us, and all of like the people who set foot, like not take the days in the studios for granted. It's like, you know, like prior to that, it's like it becomes redundant. Like, oh, I gotta go to dance. I'm doing this. Not saying that they didn't love it, because everybody loves it, but you're human. And we get tired with like, you know, the schedules and craziness of life. But once it got taken away from, you know, all of us were like, whoa, like,
oh, I miss it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it more, right?
And trust me, like our kids are so appreciative. Our adults are so appreciative. It's been, you know, super nice to just work with this type of community that we've built here and the people that come to us. And, you know, we always say there's, you know, no place like home, just this. So
there's no place like
home.
Right.
How would you say you saw, you know, I know it was probably emotionally a dip for a while. So what were the things that you did practically to keep it alive for your students while you were gone, technically out of the studio? What are some of the things mindset wise that helped bolster?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, on top of like we had our rehearsals, but in our rehearsals too, we didn't just like do a whole bunch of dance. You know what I mean? Like we talked a lot more, try to get to know each other more.
Yeah.
Played
games. George made up a lot of really funny games.
Funny games, yeah.
Like we tried to like utilize our technology and the things, and just things to get the kids like, because you know, out of their head of like, oh, now I got to try to learn this off of a screen and I have to reverse it. So it was like mindless stuff for them sometimes.
But it was, you know, it's funny. It's like and I know it sounds so typical, but it's like you do have to find the silver lining.
Yeah.
And I think that the silver lining was it did provide an opportunity to get to know like our members, our staff, everybody a little bit more like intimately.
Yeah, we even had like random staff hangouts. We like texted our staff group like, hey, what are you guys doing tonight? Want to hang out? Because everybody was at home. So like, let's have a Zoom night, a Zoom game night. So it was, we were able to like, it wasn't always just about dancing, training, and rehearsing. It was like George was saying, like it was about genuinely like checking in with them, being like, hey guys, how you guys doing? Like, how was your day? What are some of the challenges you guys are facing? Like, okay, let's make a plan. Like, let's work around that. Or hey, let's play a silly game. Like, you know, one of our staff members made up terminology hangman, and so she would screen share her screen, and we'd work on terminology, like dance terminology and all that stuff. So it's like super fun. It's even something that I still kind of like try to utilize till this day, because I still have to do some like Zoom classes. But like it's like fun, creative stuff like that, where it's like it wasn't always like physical. It was more like spiritual and mental and fun, and you know, so it was a lot of stuff like that.
So fun. And I remember you mentioning something about, again, refinding purpose.
Yeah.
I would love to hear you guys talk about that a little bit as far as your leaders, in this community, and you really are creating a culture around you that I would love to hear, like, what the vision is, and yeah, how it's like, it actually it's not just family too. It's like, how do you guys, I find that the hip hop community ends up having, to me, a lot more life and like vibrancy. Maybe it's the industry, like, I don't flavor, but like, Anna, maybe you can kind of relate to this. The other side, well, George, you can too. The other side, like the more academic side, right? The modern and contemporary side. I'm still like, we need to like borrow from the tribal sort of values that like hip hop has carried through. And I would love to just hear you talk about how you kind of helped people stay in touch with their purpose while.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the first thing for sure is definitely your why. You know what I mean? Why are you doing this? You know what I mean? Because if you're not solid on your whys, and if you're not clear on your whys, then coming into any place or trying to move through this pandemic is just gonna halt you. Do you know what I mean? So being super clear on our why, like I have my personal whys, you know what I mean, which is like, God, my family, this place, and then like things that I personally want. But like for our general why for the studio is to provide opportunities. That's how we've always been about, is like, so being, things are being poured into us so much that the hope is that it's too much and overflows into someone else's cup. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's always always providing opportunities for those who want to be industry dancers, those who want to be teachers, choreographers, whatever. And that's who's always in my mind first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Personally, right? Like I want a career. I want to be able to, create an environment where Anna and I can start a family. We don't have kids yet.
We have cats.
We have cats. Those are kids. But like that's what we're working towards. We're working towards a life with each other that we'll enjoy and kids. Not that we don't enjoy our lives now. We definitely enjoy our lives now. You know what I mean? But those are always things that keep me going, because like for me, I tell this to Anna all the time. It's easy for me to do the hard work because I know at the end of that, it's getting me a step closer to fulfilling my purpose or fulfilling my why. Do you know what I mean? If you're not clear on that, then if you're not clear on that and you're a business owner, then your staff is never going to be clear on that. Do you know what I mean? So it starts all at the top.
And then it trickles down.
And then it's in terms of like culture too, making that, a part of your culture, I think is number one. And then also understanding, we have like our hip hop side, we have our contemporary side, but everyone's very evenly mixed.
Yeah, we have a lot of crossover kids, like a lot of kids like dance on the hip hop, and like, I mean, even George and I, we help lead and lead some of the contemporary stuff with some of the other directors, but we also dance for like our hip hop like adult crew as well, and vice versa. Like everybody's like intermixed and intermingled too. Right.
And it's like I tell the contemporary dancers, like our contemporary teams are required to take hip hop. Yeah. Most studios will have, it's funny, it's reverse here. Most studios don't put an emphasis on hip hop, but they want it in their studio because it's fun. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a cool. I personally, sometimes I don't think that that's cool, because it's like what you're saying is like, yes, there is that culture and everybody wants a part of it because it's so like upbeat and live. And that's where, where a lot of like the problem lies in, where, talking about appropriation and Black culture and things like that, you know what I mean? So for me, especially like, cause I'm a Black man, I'm mixed, I'm half Mexican, half Black, right? So for me, taking hip hop into the contemporary world, taking the contemporary world into hip hop, and not making it a thing about it's separate, it's this, but making it about like this, you can't have one without the other. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what makes it, and especially in the trends that we're going into now, even with contemporary movement, is very stylized. Do you know what I mean? The type of contemporary that we do here at Elektro is very musical. It's very hip hop. It's very, you know, upbeat. You know what I mean? So all that to say, it's like it's about fusing it together, right? And not thinking of it in terms of like split, but thinking of it in terms of like, you know, we have to use this together. Do you know what I mean? And then give credit where credit is due. Appreciate it, love it, love the people that create it. Give, you know, homage to the OGs. You know what I mean? And you know, try to be respectful in that aspect. Did you have something? Sorry.
Yeah, no, and just kind of because I know you asked like how were we able to kind of like keep everybody on track with like finding like their purpose and stuff. And I think it just all kind of naturally happened because it's like for all of us and the people, you know, here, I think just anybody in general, it's like you get in such a swing of just go, 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 go. And so therefore, when you're forced to stop and reflect, and you're forced to be like, okay, what can I cut out that was maybe making me X, Y, and Z? Or what can I do now that can help me do X, Y, and Z? And I know like for all of us, like we would have staff meetings and we'd check in with our company kids and our company adults and all that stuff. And we constantly just ask them like, you know, how are you guys doing? Like what's going on? What are some things that you're learning in this time of you being able to have downtime when it was usually super rare? And so I think just naturally with that, it helped them be able to redirect and find like a deeper purpose and a deeper want and a deeper why for the things that they couldn't do at that time, but want to do and still want to do. And so I think that just kind of branched out, and that helped us be able to like really like find like even more unity when it comes to like our hip hop contemporary side and everybody in it with like everything just like really fusing together. And I think that's what out of this, it's like more than ever, like it became even like we all became even closer. Like our staff became even closer. Like all of us directors became even closer. Like even though it's like we were so far apart, if that makes sense, because obviously we're distant. So it was like we were closer via this, but like understanding and getting on the same page with like the purpose and our whys of coming out of this is like what really like kind of like
good
naturally happened and drew us together. Yeah.
I will say this too. Sorry, just backtracking a little bit. I think again going to like finding the silver line in this as well is it's dope. Like we're not just teaching in our community now. Zoom has kind of like opened up this ability to teach, you know, across the country
and bring in more people from across the country or state or whatever.
Because even now we have our in-person classes, but we still Zoom for whoever wants to drop in.
Yeah, we still have that as an availability, and we still have we have like a course for people who want to do Zoom courses who aren't comfortable yet coming in person and stuff like that. So that's it opens up other avenues. Like it opens up being able to travel without traveling, if that makes sense. So it's like super exciting that way too.
It's the old saying, right? When life gives you lemonades, you make lemonades.
Lemon, you get lemonade.
When life gives you lemonades, you make lemonade.
She said lemonade.
When life gives you lemons, you make lemonades.
Make lemonade.
But for real though, it's like it's kind of like, whoa, didn't see that coming. Now we can teach even more. You know what I mean? Which is dope.
Give us another purpose, though, right?
So yeah, so finding like finding avenues. You know, there's always a way through something. Always.
You just have to.
Where there's a will, there is a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to hear you guys talk about how creative the performances are going to be, because you don't get to do stage performances this year, but you didn't decide to like let that stop you, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can't wait to watch your shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have 3 virtual productions, we're calling them, coming out. And yeah, that was that did come out of like not being able to do stage performances
or travel to compete anywhere.
Right. And
sorry, someone popped in the door. Like,
sorry. But yeah, it's, you know, we don't stop for anything. Like I feel like Elektro has always been an underdog in many aspects. We've always, like I said, always gone against, you know, the best, whether it be competing. We've always been up against this, you know, craziest odds, you know, TV shows or whatever, you know what I mean? So that really helped us, like, when this all came, because we were like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We immediately decided, we're like, virtual production, let's do it. Why not? We have the time, right?
Yeah.
So our first one of our virtual productions, right, comes from our Lux contemporary side, which we're calling Mood Book. And Mood Book is about, it kind of has like a little bit of an like Inside Out feel, like the Disney movie Inside Out film, but not so spoon-fed. So we're going through the moods, we're going through the
different
productions.
Emotions,
Different productions, right? different emotions, right?
So there's gonna be 4 videos made out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, it's like it all leads to the final big video.
Yeah.
With
So
that, each video concentrates on a specific mood. And so
yeah.
that helped us be able to take the place of any sort of showcasing or whatever performances for a contemporary side.
So we have fear, which we're calling purgatory, right? Because sometimes we can live there in like kind of a sort like a limbo, right? We have anger, which is called seeing red, because that's sometimes we see red when we're angry, right? And that's all we can really focus on. We have sadness, and sadness comes from, actually Anna and I are choreographing sadness. We had other choreographers do the other ones.
Yeah.
Sadness comes from this place where Anna and I, like the first part of our marriage, right, was really tough. Like we had just won the show, and I thought things were going to go a little bit differently. And, you know, it was tough because, you know, the first year, like 6 months into our relationship, or 6 months into our marriage, her dad passed away. And it was really, really tough time for us. Do you know what I mean? And I know for me, seeing, you know, her that sad was heartbreaking. And then right after that too, we all had to live together because, you know, everyone was broke. I was broke. Anna was broke. You know what I mean? We were trying to help, you know, we were trying to be there for her mom too as well. Her brother and sister were living with us as well. So it was a tough time. And I realized then that I needed to like raise my necessity, you know what I mean? And start to be the man that she deserved in this instant, right? And then also, you know, try to climb out of this hole, you know what I mean? This like sadness hole. Yeah. And
are you real fast? Are you referring to Brendan Burchard's book?
No, but that sounds like something that I should read.
He talks about like knowing how necessary you are and raising your own necessity.
Oh yeah. So I actually, my friend who is the owner here, Nico, he read that book, so that's what he shared it with me.
Got it. That's my favorite chapter of that book.
Yeah.
Oh, side note, we should probably right.
It's so good. Anyway.
Yeah. But so anyways, it was tough, and Anna had this phrase that kind of goes along with this season, because she always referred to her dad. She always loved the sky, and she always referred to when she sees the sky, she sees her dad. So the phrase is, and that's also the name of the piece, Sadness, we're doing. Yeah. The phrase is, to the stars I will always look. So that's sadness.
But then we pick it up. So that's that movement. Then we pick it up.
Joy.
Ended up with Joy, and that one is called Exultants. And that one, I cannot wait to share.
That one is going to be huge. Yeah. That one, we spent the most budget on.
Because what we did for these, and we'll talk about the other 2 productions too, what we did for these is we actually had our kids pay a certain stipend for it, as if they were about to like do a big competition or whatever. So we were able to buy them costumes and hire out a production team and do sets and props and locations and all that stuff. And so we really threw money down onto these productions to not only like give our kids something to do, but to give them something tangible that they can have and show off their hard work, because
that's amazing.
What we have here is so hardworking. And so Exultants is our the big one for the contemporary team.
And then we have Mad City, which is our hip hop side.
Which is such a cool narrative. Like that one from start to finish is a whole narrative with the different scenes and different actions. So that one is going to be so insanely cool.
Is it all filmed inside of this new studio, or is it like outdoors?
Mood Book was outside, and then the other parts are going to be within our studio as well, but with like a lot of changing and stuff. Mad City, so I'm going to show you guys a little bit. So this is our new space. It's under construction. Yay. But when we shot Mad City, there's this big gray wall right here. That wasn't there, and that was only like about 2 weeks ago. So we literally set up like 4 different scenes within this big warehouse. We had a hospital scene, we had a street scene, we had a like a grungy scene, we did an outside scene, but just like on the outside. And so we shot that all within here with like the different lighting and different like backdrops and all that stuff. And then the next day they came and they put up the gray wall. So so they work fast. So that's where that was. Exultants, we shot
at Lost Dutchman, like it was like a Lost Dutchman Days rodeo site.
Yeah, somewhere in Apache Junction.
So it's very deserty.
Yeah,
which is
open, blue.
So
the one who was kind of spearheading that vision. All she wanted was blue sky. She's like, all I care about. Taylor Knight, who's on our creative team with us here for Elektro, she wanted blue sky and yellow. That's
Yeah.
all we talked about is blue sky and yellow. So we have really cool props of like yellow and everything and dust and like smoke bombs and like the blue sky and all that stuff.
Right. But Mad City though focuses on like the year 3020.
It's so cool.
It's like the government that has like failed, so we created an AI.
Like there's a whole script that was written for this one.
The AI is named Elektra, right? So she, out of like a misguided love, right, is helping out humanity by taking over. Do you know what I mean? And there's like
just surrender. So it's so like iRobot.
Very iRobot, yeah, but it's our take. It's our take on it,
Terminator type vibe.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And then our third production is called Stalemate, and that's a whole narrative of the
like
whole idea.
game.
Yeah, the whole set and idea is a chess piece, and so it's about two sides being able to duel. And so I guess stalemate is an actual chess terminology.
Yes. Oh my God.
I was gonna say I don't really play chess, but the ones who are our directors who are leading that one, they did all this research on chess, and so basically they've created each section. And like, you know, they have pawns and queens and bishops and all that stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. But like, here's the thought. Like they research like the types of moves that each of their pieces can go, and they have created their pieces sets off of just being able to move in those directions. And so it's going to be like a battle of like the two sides. And like, I guess stalemate is when you don't know when someone wins, or
Stalemate is when like no one wins.
When no one wins. So basically you leave and it leaves with a question of what side wins type thing. So I think they're securing a really awesome location for that one. One of our directors is going to go actually tour it this week. And so she's going to go see and solidify that. So that's going to be, again, production, hair, makeup, all that stuff is going to be super amazing for that one as well. So those are our three major productions that we'll be dropping. Starting in December. Teasers will come out soon, but December is when we're going to start dropping those.
And I want to say this last thing too, because like if there's anyone listening and they're business owners, like if you're like in LA, obviously things are shut down, so people are like, dang, well they're lucky, right?
Yeah.
And we are lucky, you know what I mean?
And we don't take it for granted at all.
And we're super grateful that we're able to do this, right? But you can't stop. No matter what the circumstance is, and I know it's easy for me to say, but that's the truth. It's like
sometimes it's easier said than done.
Yeah, but you can't. You have to be resourceful. Like for I listen to a lot of motivation. I listen to a lot of like I read a lot of development and that kind of thing. But one thing that stuck with me, I was listening to Tony Robbins the other day, and one of the best things I heard him say was, the best resource is resourcefulness. Meaning whatever situation you're in, whether you be locked down inside of a box. Okay, well, what's inside that box?
Yeah.
Can I find something in that box?
Can I make my box not a box?
Can I make, you know what I'm saying? How do I navigate with limited resources?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I got $2 and a penny, well, that's gonna last until whenever I get out of this situation. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think just like
just literally go play that game. What's it called? Bigger or Better? If you have I think I know it.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I used to play that sleepovers all the time.
Right.
It's like the thing to do.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun.
I just was hearing Bob Jones. No, not Bob Jones. Bob Goff.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he said his son did it and left with a car and started with like a penny. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So just like, you guys aren't wrong.
I don't mean to bring this up, but there's a lot of TikToking during the pandemic. So I like to watch TikToks, but someone on TikTok, she was doing that. She was like trading out the things that she was getting. And
that's right.
Her goal was to start, I forgot what she started with. I think it was a penny, but her goal was a house. So the things that she was getting and trading from people was like crazy. So following her story, I don't know where she's at anymore because I don't follow her, but I saw that pop up several times. I'm like, that is so cool. That like you can actually get there.
Right.
What?
Yeah. It's
from nothing to something huge. Yeah.
It's like if you I want to do that like with my kids, my future kids, with my future husband, if you're out there. Like teaching them what's possible, because you never know when you give what you can receive.
Exactly.
Whatever you have, right? Yeah.
Just have to put in,
so good, George. Thank you for saying that, because I am going like, y'all didn't stop. Like you stayed creative. You're not just doing the bare minimum. And I think right now, that's just kind of the easiest thing for everybody to do, is to stay in a mentality of survival and to pat ourselves on the back and say, well, at least we did this. But the reality is, I think we're always made to actually follow our hearts. And I think this whole situation has really kind of made us suffocate our hearts a little bit, right? You have to honor and you have to like play by the rules for sure. But I'm still like, guys, are we going to get stuck in staying small and sort of apologetic? Because, you know, you did have to back away from life a little bit. But like, there's going to be a time, or there are moments that it's appropriate to know when to step back fully. And it sounds like that's like really what you guys are doing, which is awesome.
It wasn't easy by any means, and it's still, you know, we still face certain challenges, especially when it comes to like a lot of things still being closed down and uncertain. But you know, as long as you keep pushing, you know, it's like George says, you'll always find a way. You just got to keep going. So
for sure. I wish I could honestly talk to y'all for a lot longer, but we
I know.
Here's my question for you. How does our audience like find out quickliest to be able to find out, you know, just where and how to get watch these productions, because they're coming later this year? Right?
I would say follow us on Instagram. It's at Elektrolytes, and it's spelled with a K. We literally post anything and everything. We have a website as well, but our Instagram is linked to our website. We have all the social media platforms, but if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see where we're posting, when we're posting, the teasers, like you'll see what we're up to, like at the studio, what we're working on now, and all that fun stuff.
Instagram at Elektrolytes, Twitter at Elektrolytes, Facebook Elektrolytes, YouTube is Elektro Academy. Just follow us there, and we're dropping teasers for Mood Book on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, it was like later next
Thanksgiving Day. And then more teasers will drop for Mad City, and we're dropping the full video of Mood Book on December 19th, and then the full production for Mad City on New Year's Day. Cool. So that'll come in. And then Stalemate later on that January too as well.
Got a lot of work ahead still. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
We got a lot.
Amazing, guys. Congrats on your new space.
Thank you.
Yeah, and all the growth that you're still experiencing and all the ways that you've worked hard. Good job. You know, good job for adapting. And thank you for your time. Thank you for this.
It was our pleasure. This was so fun. Thank you, Whitney, for having us.
Absolutely a pleasure. Totally.
Pretty new face.
Hopefully I'll be in Arizona again, probably, 6 months or so. We'll see.
Let's go.
Yeah, come take class.
Let's go to AZ. I want to go for coffee and stuff too.
Love you so much. Thank you, guys.
Of course. Thank you, Whitney. Love you.